Hi, welcome along to a brand new episode of the Recurring Revenue Rock Show. I'm your host, Laura Jeffrey. It's great to have you here today. So for today's episode, I really wanted to have a chat about over-courting in the DMs in order to make sales and having to make discovery calls, sales calls in order to sell places to new clients in your coaching business. So for me, in the past year, I have made over 6 figures in revenue in my coaching business without a single sales call relating to that turnover, to that money coming into my business. So I wanted to share with you how I do that and how you can do that too in your business. If you want to start eliminating those sales calls, if you want to start eliminating the need to what I refer to as over-courting in the DMs, building relationships forever in the DMs before you can make a sale. With programships, you want to move away from that, because the whole idea with programships is that you are scaling, you are growing your coaching business in a really time efficient, streamlined, simple, ethical way, right? So I want to share with you a little bit more about how I do that and how I did that in 2021 in my business, how I took my business from 36K in its first year across to $102,500 in its second year without a single sales call. So there are two kind of groups of people that I see at the moment in the coaching industry who are working one-to-one with their business, how they're growing their business. The first kind are kind of using let's get on a call together as a call to action at the end of their promotional marketing. And the second type are going out in the DMs and kind of building relationships with people. This can be a really time-consuming thing that can go on for really a long time, like weeks and weeks of kind of courting people, over-courting them in the DMs, trying to build a relationship. And yeah, you can get phenomenal results from doing that, but it is in exchange for a lot of your time, or hiring someone else and paying out more of your money to someone else to do those kind of DM courting scenarios for you on your behalf. So what I want to talk to you about today is attraction marketing, which is what I use in my own business. And I'm not going anywhere kind of away from that anytime soon, because it works so well. And it is such a time efficient way for you to scale your business. So what I say with programships is this is a way of, looking after your clients en masse so that you don't have to add more one-to-one calls to your diary, unless you want to, of course. But with the programship, kind of the pure programship model, what you're doing is you're actually selling en masse. You're getting clients en masse into your program. You're looking after them en masse in a community group, and you're coaching them en masse in group coaching calls as you deliver your evergreen programship. So the thing is, if you want to deliver like that to your clients en masse, you also need a way of selling en masse, and that doesn't involve getting on the phone to each individual person. It doesn't involve over-courting in the DMs. It's not about that. This is about attraction marketing instead, which is something totally different. So if you want to start using attraction marketing in your coaching business so that you can do this kind of selling en masse, this is how I do it. So this is what I do myself, and that's why I teach it as well, because I've got results from it myself and I see how it works so well. So with attraction marketing, what you are doing is you are going out to the masses and you are providing value of some sort, like we all do in the coaching industry when we're creating our content, like I'm doing right now. I'm sharing awesome, free, valuable content with you, but then you're doing a call to action at the end. So what I found was throughout my year of running my first programship, what I found was I tried so many different ways to market and sell places in that programship. And I feel really kind of chuffed that I'm at a point now where I can look back on that and say, wow, that was like, some of it was brutally hard and some of it was a piece of cake. So obviously, what am I going to do going forward? I'm going to do the stuff that's a piece of cake and gets results, right? So what I found really, really hard, so I like being honest about this stuff in terms of my own experience. What I found really, really hard was creating evergreen funnels with the aim being to make sales. I found that really difficult. So I know there are people out there who are, great at this. That's awesome. For me personally, I didn't enjoy it. And I got crappy results from it. So I would spend a long time, as in weeks and weeks, creating out these fancy funnels, creating all this stuff, spending a lot of money, kind of sending ads with people through these funnels and expecting sales from them. However, what I found was it was a great way to create leads, But then those leads converted actually when I was selling live to them, not on the phone, not overcourting in the DMs, but delivering live value in workshops or live challenges. That is where the sales were made. And that is how I was able to make up to $30,000 in the space of 2 weeks from people that have never even heard of me before, never met me, never spoken to me, across to them paying me $1,000 in the space of 2 weeks, just on a live challenge that I ran, which I spent, I don't know, an hour or two a day on. It was amazing. So what I realized was that, like, there's no point trying to stuff a square peg into a round hole, right? So what I was trying to do was to make sales from these evergreen funnels. Didn't work for me. It did work to an extent, but the conversion rates were rubbish. They were kind of like 1 to 2%, which is, you know, that it just wasn't going to stack up. So what I did was I kind of had a look at the conversion rates that I was getting from my live events. So my live workshops, my live challenges, my live event launches, and the conversion rate was way higher, more like 10%. Big difference, right? So rather than leaning on the evergreen funnel for sales, I decided to start leaning on that evergreen funnel for leads, and then thinking that, fantastic, you know, I'm getting 20, 25, 30 people a day signing up for my, you know, my lead magnet or my pre-recorded workshop, whatever. Those people, those fresh leads are coming into my business every day, but I knew that I was only converting around about 1% of them, which wasn't great, 1 to 2% of them. So what I kind of changed my mindset, and I was like, great, I'm getting all these fresh leads in. What am I going to do with them next? So when they'd signed up, because I had this new mindset, instead, I was like, great, okay, so I can just email them now and then, and I can invite them across to my live events. I can invite them across to my challenges, to my virtual retreats, to my workshops, to my 3-day sequence workshops, whatever it is I'm doing. I'm going to invite these people along. This is going to be really cool. So that works really, really well. So that is the method which I now lean on. It's the method which I use, which I have running in my business. I know that when I go live, I sell. So that's really, really important. So as well as having a way of looking after your leads on a kind of week-to-week basis, to look after them, to keep them warm, to keep them, you know, to keep you top of mind, that you also have live events that you're inviting them along to, where they can hang out with you, they can ask questions, they can feel looked after, they can learn something really valuable, they can see what you're like as a person. You know, you're going to be talking very honestly and openly about the work that you do, so they understand it fully, that you're not leaving any gray area for people where they're like, can I get on a call with you and ask you these questions, because they've already had them answered in the live event that you've provided. So I always say this, it's like, I've got other companies that have sold services and products in the thousands. So I know what it's like to create like a passive income, if you like. But the thing is, it's like the work comes somewhere. You don't just magic sales out of nowhere. And I think there's kind of, from my point of view at least, with evergreen funnels that are fully automated, the work comes in setting up the funnel for sure, but you're losing a lot of your potency in the fact that it is automated, and you're just kind of losing a lot of potential sales. So I think if you're relying fully on a totally automated funnel, you're not going to get quite, like, from my point of view at least, you're not going to get the same level of conversions as you would if you're putting in that effort to do these live events. So you don't need to do them all the time. So I did mine, I was very sporadic last year. So I was consistently inconsistent last year. So I kind of front loaded the year with a lot of activity. I think I launched in total like 5 times in 2021, each time learning something and trying something new. It was really, really exciting. But then I also started introducing workshops as well, which were a lot more time efficient, a lot shorter, and a lot more suitable to my ideal client, actually. So I learned a lot there. I learned a lot of stuff. So I always say to my clients, if you are going to do the launch model, maybe aiming for like 2 to 4 times a year is good. That's really, really good. But in between that, you want to be running like the odd workshop as well, maybe one every 2 weeks, maybe one a month. It's up to you. There's no kind of set thing here. But for me personally, I know that when I go live, I sell. So for me, instead of spending time fanning around trying to sort out kind of over convoluted, completely automated evergreen funnels, instead I just have a very simple evergreen funnel where people can sign up for a PDF often an automated webinar, but it gets them onto my list. So then I know that I can look after people when I'm not launching, when I'm not doing workshops. I can still carry on looking after them, sending them my podcast episodes, sending them, links to posts that I've written, which will help them out. But I know that actually when I get people to convert, when people actually pay me money, is when I've spent the time doing live. So for me, that is a priority in my business. Absolutely. Am I going to go live once a month at least? Yeah, of course I am, because that's when I make all my sales, and I can do that in a really collapsed time frame, because I know that I can sell really well on live workshops, right? So this is really, really cool stuff. So for you, if you want to kind of take out the need to do lots of sales calls, to do all this over courting in the DMs, what I recommend is a live approach. So having an evergreen funnel running all year round, just to bring you leads in, and then also to be doing these live events on the regular, once or twice a month, I would say is really, really cool if you want to run live workshops. But then if you want to do kind of big like the all singing, all dancing launches, maybe 2 to 4 a year is really, really cool, and you'll get great results from those. So if you are interested in having my help to help you set up your live selling systems in your business, to help you sell your programship so that you can take your business to adding in an extra 6 figures each year, I have got a wonderful, wonderful program called the Programship Intensive, the Programship Method Intensive, where you and I work together for a month really closely, one-on-one, to get your programship created and ready to sell. I then bring you across into my own programship, where I look after you for another 5 months. So in total, this is a 6-month offer. And that's kind of a group coaching programship, where you are in an intimate group of my clients, and you get to mastermind together. You get to come on calls with me twice a month. We get Q&A sessions. It's wonderful. So working really closely together for that first month, and then progressing into that programship. And this is really giving you the backup and the support and the coaching that you need to create a programship which really lights you up, which makes you feel really good, that you're so proud of, and that you're so excited to sell places in, that it's going to be like this journey to 6 figures. Adding an extra 6 figures to your coaching business is just going to be so much fun for you. So if you're really interested in applying for that, coming to work with me one-to-one on that, then you can either send me an email. So I'm on laura@heartpassiveincome.com, or you can pop me across a DM. I'll just ask you, no over courting, I promise. I'm just going to ask you a few questions to make sure that we're a good fit to work together. And then we can start working together as soon as next week. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Recurring Revenue Rock Show, and I cannot wait to see you here next week.